Hi, good evening. This is a video that I want to do as a bit of a special. Not part of the series about any harmonica, chromatic or chord harmonica. Just a very special video about something that I am so chuffed with. The story is about this particular chord harmonica. It's the old type Hohner 48 chord harmonica. The story started about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that, for me. I had this chord harmonica. This is always my standard go-to chord harmonica, and until about 6 years ago, I found a post of a lady called Julie Broad back in Somerset or something, at Devon, I think, near Exeter anyway, who found one of these old Hohner 48 chord harmonicas in a big case in an attic from her deceased grandfather, I think, if I remember well. And she was asking the question how much it would be worth or if she could sell it. I then bought it off her, and I posted a video about 6 years ago about this particular harmonica. The trouble is with these Hohner chord harmonicas, they were made for many decades, I think since the 1920s or 30s or something like that. And they are the harmonicas with the largest single piece wooden comb ever made in the history of harmonicas. So basically the combs, so the sandwich part of the harmonica, this is a piece of wood. Now you can imagine even Hohner nowadays have moved on to other materials, because wooden combs is always a bit of a problem. I got this harmonica of Julie Broad 6-ish years ago, and it looked absolutely fine until I started playing it for a few weeks, and at some point the combs started to swell up in the middle, in the chords that you use the most, so the wood started to work and the harmonica started to smell a bit, because it's a wooden comb has been in a case in an attic for so many years, probably not been played, etc. And of course, especially with a wooden comb, that causes problems. So just as I was about to sort of give up and think, I don't know what I'm going to do with this harmonica, I was then given another similar Hohner 48 chord harmonica. It was in a better condition than the one I bought earlier. So then all of a sudden I was left with two old 1960s-ish wooden chord harmonicas, Hohners. And one of them, the second one, was gifted to me by Mr. James Hughes. I'd been playing with Jim Hughes for a few years. On Sunday mornings I went to his house and we used to play harmonica there for about 3 hours on Sunday mornings, now and again, with a few other players, and I was the chord player there, and I brought this chord harmonica with me. I learned an awful lot in those few years on these Sunday mornings with James Hughes. And unfortunately, he had lost his eyesight, so he went blind, which meant he had to give up his Sunday morning practice sessions, as he used to call it. because he couldn't obviously read music anymore, and it was an end of an era for him. And as a gift, he gifted me his Hohner 48 chord. So then I was left with two wooden Hohner 48 chord harmonicas. Make a long story short, the one that James Hughes gifted me seemed to be in a better condition than the other one I got. So then I got in touch with Kane Hamilton in Holywell in Wales. He used to do a lot of customizing, especially diatonic harmonicas. That's what he used to do. But I really loved his work. I really liked his work, especially his tuning. His tuning skills are absolutely phenomenal. So I decided to ask Kane Hamilton, and I said, if I can send this harmonica to you, can you please have a look at it and tell me whether or not, it's your choice, if this would be something that you could do for me. I need it doing up, I need it refurbishing, it needs looking at, it needs all sorts. So yes, he said, send it on to me. So I did, put it in a parcel, sent it off to him. And then I didn't hear anything for about 6-7 weeks, and I started to get worried. And I knew Kane Hamilton was very busy with his diatonic harmonicas. He used to customize quite a lot of those. So I thought maybe he's too busy, and I didn't really want to ask him too soon. So after about 8 weeks, I contacted him again, and I said, have you had a chance to look at my chord harmonica? And then he came back and he said, oh, it's all apart now. So basically, he'd started it already without telling me. And I want to tell you that the job that Kane Hamilton, Kane Hamilton, has done is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, I'm telling you. What he's done, because first of all, he took the top harmonica body, this one, he took it apart and took the cover plates off, took the reed plates off, etc, etc. And then he found out that the comb actually had quite a few problems. Some of these, if you look at the comb carefully, you see that this wooden comb has all got the reed chambers, and there's all wooden little walls between the reed chambers, and some of these walls were just completely gone. So what Kane Hamilton has done is he repaired all of these reed chambers with matchsticks. Honest to God. So this is completely, he rebuilt the whole comb with the help of matchsticks. God knows how much work has gone into that. I have no idea, but he did all of that. Then when he got to the second comb, that was a major problem, because that comb was just gone beyond repair. You could not even begin to look at it to repair it. So he was stuck, and he told me that. So then I said, okay, well that's fair enough, because I know that Hohner Germany still sell the combs for these harmonicas. So what I then did is I ordered a new comb with Hohner Germany. Cost about £100. I think they might still sell them. And I had it delivered directly to Kane, because that's where my harmonica was. And again, Kane wasn't very communicating with me, because as it turned out, he got the new comb, but there was still a problem, because Hohner didn't actually keep the comb straight. It had just been on a shelf somewhere for God knows how many years, and it was bent, it had warped, and this is all the things that happen with wooden combs if you leave it alone. So Hohner hadn't even bothered to put it in some sort of clamp or anything. So when Kane Hamilton got this new comb, he had to do a lot of work with straightening it, wetting it, put it in a clamp, leave it for a week, wet it again, check it again, make it a bit straighter. It took him 3 months to actually prepare a brand new comb, ordered for £100 at Hohner. If he told me, I would have returned the comb and said, give me a straight one. But no, Kane just carried on and ploughed on as he did. And it took him another 3 months to actually salvage, is the word I think, the second comb. So the first one, the top one, this one is all repaired with matchsticks, believe it or not. And this one had actually 3 months of extra work with straightening, etc. And what Kane Hamilton used to do with his diatonics, he actually seals the wooden combs with a particular kind of wax. It's like a secret recipe, Danish or Scandinavian type of wax, a special kind of blend. And he also used to paint the combs. Look at Sugar Kane's custom harmonicas if you want, or anyone who's got some will know that. So he actually sealed and painted the combs in this chord harmonica in his own style, because this is a typical style for Sugar Cane custom harmonicas. It took Kane Hamilton about 15 months, well over a year, to do this whole harmonica. It took him over 6 months just to do the combs, and then obviously sealing, painting, and etc, etc. And of course, no mean feat, retuning a total of 8 chords per reed, 8 reeds per chord, 48 chords on a harmonica, which equals 384 reeds that he had to retune. So the work that has gone into this harmonica is certainly beyond my belief. So absolutely phenomenal, and I owe a lot of this to Sugar Cane Hamilton. Unfortunately, I understand that he no longer customizes harmonicas. Certainly not as many as he used to do, because he eventually gave up and went to his old job, which was a plasterer. So, what a shame of a talent, eh? But Kane Hamilton, Sugar Cane Hamilton, did this harmonica for me. He brushed up the cover plates, retuned all the reeds, 384 reeds, repaired all the combs, sealed it, painted it so it's completely waterproof, moist-proof, you name it. Absolutely fantastic. Seriously. What I also said to Kane Hamilton at the time is, because the Hohner chord harmonicas, the old ones, and I think still the new ones, they are actually held together by 2 hinges on the side. They are basically a bit like, but not quite, a bit like just metal plates, and they just go into the side of the harmonica. Also on this harmonica, of course, because these harmonicas are usually nailed together, all done with nails, not with screws. And Kane Hamilton also replaced all the nails everywhere with screws, so I can take this apart, cleaning, whatever else. So that was Kane Hamilton's job. That took well over a year, and I can only begin to imagine the work that has gone into it. I've just got pictures in my head of 384 reeds all over the place and whatever else. But so that was Kane Hamilton, Sugar Cane Hamilton. Unfortunately, I don't think he customizes harmonicas anymore nowadays. But phenomenal job he did on this harmonica. But then there was also another problem. These harmonicas are all valved. Every reed has got windsavers. So they're like the plastic little flaps that keep the reed from playing when you play the other reed. So it stops the blow reeds if you play a draw chord, and etc. Anyone who has a harmonica with valves knows what windsavers are or valves are. And of course, in this harmonica, the valves are also from the 1960s, so they were also about 50 odd years old. And of course they needed replacing. And that is where the third person in this video comes from. So James Hughes gave me this harmonica. Kane Hamilton refurbished this whole harmonica for me. But, and this is not something you can see because it's actually inside the harmonica, but the valves are also a very special story. When I started playing chord harmonica about 10 years ago, this one, all of a sudden and out of nowhere came Mr. Walter Peterman from the USA. Walter Peterman has been a chord player for well over 40, maybe even 50 years, and he's an awesome chord harmonica player. He has played with pretty much every harmonica trio, quartet, ensemble in the USA over the many years, and he really knows his chords. In the link in this video, in the description, I'll put a link to his YouTube channel, and of course I'll put some links into Jim Hughes, who gave me this harmonica, and also a video to Sugarcane Hamilton, who refurbished it for me. But Mr. Walter Peterman, or Wally as he is usually known, is not only a chord harmonica player, a phenomenal chord harmonica player, he's also a harmonica customizer, and by trade he's actually an engineer. He used to work for Stanley. I don't know what he did in his last years, now retired. And he spent many years and many trials and experimenting with valves. And as it turns out, he invented, all by himself, windsavers, special windsavers for harmonicas. And they are actually so good that Brendan Power wanted to buy these valves and the rights for these valves from Walter Peterman, and Walter Peterman said no, they are his valves, he invented them. These valves you can actually buy, and I'll put a link in the description. These valves you can buy on newharmonica.com, an American website run by Danny G, and he sells them. He sells Wally Peterman's valves on his website. I'll also put a link in the video description here below to see where you can get those valves, because those valves you can put in diatonics, chromatics, wherever you want valves in your harmonicas. Absolutely fantastic. These valves are quite special. They are, and I can't show you at the moment because I can't see them, but they are white little. They look a bit like plastic, but they don't feel like plastic. They feel a bit like paper, somewhere between paper and plastic, and they also feel a bit hairy. It's as if they are a bit haired. There's microscopic hairs on them, and these valves are so special that they keep flat on the reed gap, so the gap where the valve needs to cover keeps flat, so these valves don't curl up or anything, and they always return to their original shape. So after you've used them, they always return flat, and they always work. And this is the result of many, many years, I'm serious, of experimenting with different materials until he actually found these valves. And guess what? Mr. Walter Peterman sent me a big envelope, big brown envelope, with a whole lot of his valves. Wow. So I sent these valves off to Kane Hamilton, and when he had to renew all the valves, I said to him, there's your valves, and those are the valves that I want you to put on this harmonica, which he did. And this is something you can't see on the harmonica, but they are inside, but they're actually the heart of the harmonica. It makes it playable, really. So, that's a few people. James Hughes, Sugarcane Hamilton and Wally Peterman. I owe a great deal to these people that have actually made my Hohner 48 chord harmonica. Honestly, I can't tell you enough and how utterly grateful I am for the help I've had with this. But then, at the end, there was yet another problem. The hinges, the Hohner hinges that hold these two bodies together in the Hohner, are these. These are the Hohner hinges. So basically, on the side of the harmonica, these plates go on like that. So then they used to be nailed into the old Hohner. So there's two nails going in here on the top body, two nails on the top body, and there's two hinges on either side. And that's how these harmonicas are held together. And that's how you can adjust your harmonica to your liking. But, and this has always been a problem with Hohner, these hinges, and you can see it already, they're weak as anything. They don't hold the harmonica in place at all, and they are a piece of junk. Excuse my language, but seriously, not good. So I told Kane Hamilton not to put these hinges back on my chord harmonica. So I got the harmonica back as two separate bodies. You've seen me use the top body in one of my previous videos a few months ago, because I still didn't have the hinges. And this is where the next person comes in who's helped me out, and that is Mr. John Cook, a engineer, a do-it-all, who has actually specialised himself very much over the last few years in harmonica repairs and retuning and all that. But not only that, he's designed things, and he's been a huge part of the Harmonica UK Chromatic Weekend for the last few years. He's been there. He helped people out with retuning their harmonicas, told them how to do it, and all the technical aspects of harmonicas. He's an absolute ace on that, and we're very proud to have him on board with the Harmonica UK Chromatic Weekend events, and maybe other events as well. But I know him from the Chromatic Weekend event, because that's where I'm involved in. So last June, when we had our Chromatic Weekend again in Birmingham with the Harmonica UK, HUK, John Cook was there as well with all his equipment and helping out people with problems, technical problems with his harmonica. So he was there, and I gave him my chord harmonica, the Hohner, this one. I gave that to him. And I said to him, this is one thing that is annoying me about chord harmonicas in general, this one as well, but in fact, this one works quite all right, so I don't see a reason why I should change this, because these hinges are much better. But I said to John Cook, says, ideally, I would like to hold the harmonica next to it, like this, or like a handle on the side of the harmonica. Because I don't like holding the harmonica by the end, like this, because just in case I have to play the chord at the end, I always have to get my fingers out of the way to actually play it. So I hold it, and then I have to get it out of the way to play it. So, and I said, ideally, I would like something on the side of the harmonica that I can hold it, but not the harmonica itself. And that's all I said. I didn't say anything else. I didn't give him any ideas. I also, because this is what he also asked for, but I didn't have a chance to give him that, because after the chromatic weekend he actually went on his biking holiday in France for a few weeks. So thinking I'd give him, because he asked me what sort of angle I played the harmonica on. So I was going to tell him that and say, okay, this is the kind of angle that I'll play it at, and I was going to tell him when he got back from his holiday. But it never got that far, because when he came back from his holiday, he contacted me and asked me for my address. Okay, he says, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to send you the prototype, and you need to let me know if this works for you. Right, okay. So 2 days later, got a parcel, picked it up from the post office, opened the parcel, and guess what came out? This. And look at this. These are the handles that John Cook made for my chord harmonica. So and in the beginning, when I just opened the parcel, I thought, oh no, because I'm used to playing my harmonica like this. So split open. So not like this, but open, so I can actually play it. So switch between the two bodies, and there's this twist in my wrist. So when I got this is what it looked like, and it's not a hinge, so the harmonicas are actually fixed like this, so I can't turn them. So my first reaction when I opened the parcel, I thought, oh no, how am I going to tell the great John Cook that this doesn't work and that this doesn't actually play? But I thought, hang on a minute, let's start playing this, and I did. So I put the harmonica, and initially one of the harmonicas was one of the bottom body was upside down, so I had to turn that around and etc. Because that's how it works, you see. So these two caps, so to speak, caps are held together by a brass rod at the back, and the rod goes through it, and you just screw it on. So I could take this actually all apart, but when it's together, it actually doesn't actually touch, so there's no screws through the harmonica or anything like that. So then I started playing it, and guess what? It played absolutely brilliantly. It just wasn't at all what I expected. So, and that completes my story of this particular chord harmonica. So again, Mr. James Hughes, who gave me it, Mr. Wally Peterman, who gave me the valves for it, Mr. Kane Hamilton, who did all the work restoring and refurbishing this whole chord harmonica, which took, I can't quite remember, but well over a year. I think about 15, 16 months, something like that. A huge amount of work. Kane Hamilton, and then at last Mr. John Cook, who made the handles for me. And look at these handles. I mean, they are ergonomic. they're actually sort of, you can actually turn them around and they feel different. So they're not quite symmetric or anything. You can see the difference. So if you turn them around, it feels different from when you do use it this way. So very, very clever, and it plays absolutely awesome. So that's the story about my particular chord harmonica. Just briefly on the other harmonica that I had bought six-ish years ago, the other chord harmonica. Because there's so much work gone into this one, and I thought I don't need two of these, so the other one has nothing been done about it. It hasn't been refurbished or anything, and I ended up giving it away to Mr. George Liddell. So I hope he still enjoys that harmonica. So I've now got just the one Hohner, and just to explain what the differences are, because this harmonica and this harmonica are very, very different. They are different to play. They sound different. They could not be more different. They play differently. You need to play different playing technique, and etc. etc. They are. I compare them to big cats. You know, a lion and a tiger, both quite big animals, predators, you name it, all the similarities, but still they are completely different animals. And that's the same with this. So again, I've already sort of explained in one of my previous videos what the difference is, but this sounds like, and this no valves at all, and it plays like this. Whereas this plays quite differently. Sounds very different. It plays very different because this is all valved. So with this I actually need to take the whole body into my mouth. So you put your mouth around the whole chord, lip at the bottom, lip at the top, etc. Whack the whole chord in your mouth and play 8 reeds at the same time. Whereas this is a completely different animal, like I said. Blow reeds at the top, so draw reeds at the bottom. There's still seven reeds each to play at the same time, but it plays completely differently. It's like this lip blocking thing that I explained in one of my videos. Etc. But I've explained that already. So they're completely different animals. Both chord harmonicas, but they could not be more different. So, I hope I've told you the story about my Hohner 48 chord harmonica, and my huge thanks to so many people that have helped me with this and to actually make this into mine. Thank you. I hope this video does a bit of justice to you all. Thank you very much.